Well, hello. So we're in Jesus's living room. Jesus, the one and only. Well, that's according to music. So, and words people speak turn me into a flashing light. And among those words, it's kind of upside down here. Those words are Jesus, Christ, God, and then bad words because they got me dirty all my life. So I got all the worst, bad, small, tiny, bad adjectives that make me flash too. And then I got the good musicians that I got. I got good musicians that started putting good words in my bag, and I'm really glad they did so because I really had the worst bag ever. They really put shit in my bag. Uh, so you get to smoke a joint with Jesus. Because you might think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm worthy. I'm I'm a sinner. I think so, but not that much. But I don't know. I don't think I deserve that. I would have never thought I winner is another word that makes me flash and dead and kill, shoot, bat, cross, Christ. Anyways, all those words. So up there is a painting I did of a sailboat on a green ocean. So yeah, here we are smoking a joint. This video, I've been listening to my own video because I get kissed all the times, and I have this root inside of me, like a tendon or a melting tendon. You have to rub with music. Now it's playing in my nose. It's so annoying. I've been trying forever to take that out. It's energy balls, and you have to rub music. It turns into how do you call prana, chi. Turns into beer. We call that beer, whiskey, tea, water. Well, whiskey and tea are flavored, and then energy prana chi is kind of just cold tasting energy breath. Like when they say way, the way opens up the top of the chest. So now we're opening up your chakras. You have the heart chakra. You shouldn't be. They can control your breath. That's by getting you to fall in love with their hand or whatever they're controlling it with. But I had a corset like that a long time. Every time I'd get a blue guys. The moment they'd react was exactly when I was taking my breath, and they'd always give me anxiety, and I'd end up at ground zero all the time, down where the breath is, when your rib cage is all the way down on the table. The table is where you fill your bag up and you decide what you love and what you don't like, with frequencies, good or bad frequencies. And then there's the floor. The floor is way down inside, way down. There's a chakra down there. It kind of a mushroom twirling around in a saucer kind of thing with a long. Well, the tornado goes into the mushroom, and by turning it generates prana. That's the generator. I got that from Bad Religion. A turbine appeared in because I meditate on music, good music, and I let the music control me, and sometimes it just grabs me and tells me something. I guess people were talking to me, and without knowing for a while, I was actually on the pad telling them how I felt and what was happening in my reality. So yeah, I always forget what I was saying. They get me to forget all the time, and to get to fall lazy whenever you have to do something. Or I'm geared to sabotage. I always get this really bad idea I can't keep myself from doing before an important event where I have to be in shape or something. Or there's always a sabotage. I have to give me trouble. The psychiatrist, because I was the best. Not that I want to be. I was. I had good grades in school, in high school, and I did a lot of sports. Uh, and I was amongst the best players, and in the swimming I was second for the whole town. So I had gangsters call me best. When they do that, that's because you have cancer. That's because the camp serves camp, sur cancer. Le camp is camp in French. So yeah, when the camp serves the the deer, well, that's what, and that's what I've been doing all my life. I only noticed they were trying to kill me 15 years later. Uh, because most of the time I was having too much fun killing myself. Too busy. A lot of drugs. Jesus is a drug addict, but not forever. Uh, the weed, the medication, that's legal here in Quebec. Uh, okay. Yeah. As I'm speaking to you, some those energy balls are twirling inside me. I think that's what they call dough. The Homer Simpson's dough, because dough is water and flour, but flour it can be a metaphor for cocaine and speed, and water. Well, the red and white give water and tea. Water purifies. So, and the cons and vice and evil people don't like water because it purifies and cleans and eliminates need and desire and how do you say when you're in lack? No, when you're Jones and you're convincing yourself to slowly to do something stupid. That turns into the prana when you touch the sexuals, the chakra. Not I have these cables from here to where my perineum is. You can put them wherever you want. When your thing opens up and you start feeling the energy inside of you, it's like those dresses with ribbons in the front. That's what they're trying to. That's I think that's what they're trying to show is how they're equipped inside of whatever you cannot speak of. It's so funny whenever you try to talk about magic, esotericism, cabal, hermetism, narcissism, fascism, new world order, or whatever word games. Everybody turns the switch off. It's or they tell you something totally out of bound just to make you feel like wasn't important at all what you were saying for the last 5 minutes and that you wasted your time because they just changed the subject when So or they'll cut you. They won't let you speak. Yeah, the narcissists do that a lot. They monopolize the discussion and they pee blue piss on you. That's deadly blue photographic piss on the ram ramshackle. I've been a I was the book émissaire in French. Book émissaire is the scapegoat. So that's a fascist and narcissistic is to manipulate the bosshood. Because the people with the arms each side like this on her hips, it pretends she's a jar of water and that she has all the. Then and those fucking fascists, they'll turn around on you right after you said something personal. Then they're gonna turn on you, do the water jug, and take control of the night and put you back in the corner. Oh, that is so pleasant. Then you have to shut up because they don't like Johnny. Johnny, the Christ, whatever is healing. They don't want. And plus, my name is Justin. Just something they don't want pronounced. Like Claire, Clyde, and François. François Frank is franchise. It's he's Frank. Frank is good. It's not like Benoit, where Noir is to drown. Benoit or Sophie. So in French is ça is it. It c'est ça. C'est ça. C'est ça. C'est ça. It appears when you say c'est ça or that's it. It flashes. But what fascists do to manipulate is they change it and to protect themselves, or when often it's because they're it. So they swindle you. In French, it's to cross. They cross you, they jerk you off. That means they swindled you to take control of the situation. Yeah, I think I got chosen because I suffered a lot, but I never really had the impression that I was suffering. I was sabotaged all the time. I'd lose jobs. I had to quit school because my couple was going bad before she stole my kid from me with the help of the system. Fascists steal left-handed kids and raise them in the right capitalist bourgeois suburb, and they look like models. But the kid, she won't talk. Fuck all. She's been taught to shut up and to make people speak, to manipulate them. She's already with a little good victim. What they do is they pick a victim. It's a good person like me. I was a good person. Plus, I became a Rastaman that hung out with punks and Rastas and marginals. So that put me on the death list that I actually noticed I was on 15 years later, once I had no more pancreas and I was an alcoholic and all the partying and blah blah blah. I got all these défauts in English is lacks or bad sides, because I've been tempted all my life to get as many bad habits and bad stuff in me in order to kill me faster. So they've been shoveling bad habits, and because they befriend you. To be on the cross is making a whole bunch of Nazi fascist friends, toxic personalities that are narcissists. They play with your mind. I was a guinea pig. They do magic. But people never, they have psychosis and psychiatry that's covering their ass. Everybody yells schizo or something when you try to talk about that. Or they say, shut up, it has to say secret, this is a revolution, or this and that. But I figure if anybody would live what I went through and all the kisses I got, I would like to be able to find some guidance on the net. So that's why I publish and then a hashtag a lot. To teach people that war language, the alchemic language. Alchemia. It's the language that kept, the bird language is what kept Alchemia secret. The secret powers, the magic, the elements, the quantum solace reality, the universe, not the Christian cage based on punishment and death, like a cadaver on a stick. Isn't that intimidation? That's fascism. That's having Pennywise run the show. Like, what? You want Rocky to run the show? What? Rocks. They already built, they harled the rock wall. To harl in Scotland is to plaster a rock wall on a castle. So, Harley, well, that means they are harling. And Davidson in Sweden and those places, Denmark and Scandinavia, when the word finishes by son, it means son of this. So that would be son of David is harling a wall with plaster and rocks. The plaster is when they break something on someone, and like they probably feel like doing to me right now. That's my whole life is playing MC fucking good, Mick fucking good, Mick fucking. So now we fuck. We don't hurt each other. We love. It's peace, man. I talk to them all the time. They're in my underwear in the back. It's a fuck button. That's where you're supposed to be. They're teaching you to be somewhere else. To protect swindlers and people that will with treachery and canes. Cane is their all-star. At hockey, they have a cane. They have a cane at wrestling. And they're gonna suffer cane themselves. Because whenever they reach the top, those two snakes that fight for the holy stick, the Hollywood. There's two snakes wrapped around, facing each other, a red one and a blue one, a dominant and a dominated, dog and underdog. Well, those two snakes used to be brothers, but one will kill the other, maybe. That's what I think, because you create your reality. They believe in Cain. That means creating the potential that could happen to you. Showing that to people to maintain them in fear. The Christianity is fascism. It comes from Rome. It was a wolf breastfeeding Romus and Romulus. It's fascism. They killed the real king, Jesus. And Jesus was actually healing, and he was the first revolutionary. He probably didn't even believe in God. I didn't believe in God. I was an atheist. I don't believe in dogma. I hated how gurus would try impress me and maintain. They'd kind of masturbate me or something to keep my attention, and they were so illuminated, but you couldn't verify fuck all. And then you had to blindly believe in what this guy was saying, and then that he convinced a lot of other people to say it too, but that you can't prove. There's no I'm Thomas, the whole 9 yards. I will have to put my finger in that hole. Yeah, Socrates, I don't know how long I'll live, because I have people roaming around me with a ring in their neck. They know the ring is in the streets. They know where it's at. They know who's with the ring, the one and only ring that I have. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like the story of B. It's the story of Negan. No, I'm Negan. I'm Negan. I'm Negan. Jesus multiplies himself now. And if somebody kills Jesus, he'll just pop into another person again, and most of the work is going to be done anyways. The whole structure of society just changed at my birthday in mid-July. I won the Minotaur. I fought death. It's scary. I faced my worst fear. I looked into the eye of Sauron. That's how they know. They still can see, and they still have an ear on the pad. Something we say we're conditioned to tell them inside of us. They end up knowing where we're at. Fancy cars drive by, and I'm a little paranoid, but when you've had more MC fucking problems, or yeah, well, that loving you a lot and being your friends, and ses amis buns. Ses amis in French is ses amis, his friends, ses amis. It's his friends that kills him. It was my friends that would kill me. Every time they turned my head, I'd be to face a smoke and a beer. Still do that. I was on a death program. If I'd leave my autopilot go red and loose, I'd fall on an ashtray or a smoke, white dust, or something bad for me that could potentially kill me. My daughter, trying to think about my daughter, which souvenirs are all gone or blocked with an energy ball I can't get through, I can't melt, or they bump me back to a cigarette. I can't think of Harley Quinn, my daughter. She's daddy's little monster. For real. It's a kid that would have grown up with an anarchist like me. I believe anarchy is not a left-wing ideology and philosophy, because everything in life balances. Whenever there is a lack of balance, there's a catastrophe or something goes wrong. There's a storm. There are waves that are bad, or they can attract. Now we have to condition ourselves to push back meteors, and in order to take the habit to push them back so they don't drive into I'm space. No, you can actually do that. People can create I'm kind of like thinking I do that stuff. I didn't believe in God. I decided that well, I think it's more logical, because that God's, and I think that quantum physics, the behavior of elements was already there, and that differences and polarities and a balance between positive and negative, good and evil, and neutrality created pressure and blah blah blah, and physically created the universe. And celestial beings, I don't know if that's logical that much, because we could argue that a lot. But it could be possible, because a God, if you quit believing in God, I think that God will just dissipate into the void, because nobody gives it energy or takes or needs its energy. So if nobody attracts it, it shouldn't be there, because nobody believes in it. We create reality. We are celestial beings. And celestial beings, by uniting their common space, psychic space, create the powers of God, of a God, and that will. But we could all, not to disappoint them too much, we could say that God started the whole thing. He gave me magical powers. My birthday was funny. I had screws coming out of my coming out of my eyes, because they put blockades all over the eyes, the jaw, the tears, the eyebrows, a lot of subtle spots where they have these little crunchers. You have to crunch out. They kind of crack when you stretch the tendons. It's like little. It's like if there's little breakers where they block the energy flow. So you have to snap them by stretching or click, 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 click them. That opens up reality, because we were confined in this New World Order attempt cage and Christian cage based on fear and punishment and social acceptance. No, they should teach people to be happy with themselves without the approval of the exterior, and they should develop the ability to be invulnerable and not to deal with bad shit. Don't stick around if you're on the table and you're the supper or the scapegoat. Narcissists, cannibals. Narcissists exclude people and pick a leader. They work for a leader. I believe in equality. That's why you have this anarchist flag that flashes in the sky all the time. When I go to music gigs, punk shows, and on the front, which is I have to put more music on. No. Okay, yeah. I had these screws that I could throw out of my eyes, and I could have them enter the eyes of the person in front of me. I could kind of go deposit something down inside a program or a new behavior. They cast spells on you with TV and music, because people learn how to spell at a very young age. Every word has an effect. Every sound has an effect. They call those graphèmes in French, or mini mantras, or parts of words and sounds. And K, K, T, 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 K, S, S, D, D. 6, 3, 2, 3, 2, 7, 12, 11, 39, 42, 56, complémentaire 17. Those are French numbers. I was Lotto Québec. I was picking the numbers for the to make the new millionaire. It's funny how I'm not interested in having money that much. It's what punks taught us with our values by listening to that music. Made us not mind solitude. I'm always alone. Even when I'm among people, I'm alone. Uh, they even close the circle in my face and stand right in front of me, and closing it at the same time, excluding me from this. And they would always do that. Every single time. It took about 5 minutes and the circle was closed and I was drying on my own with the smoke while the others were chatting. Nobody would ever stop and talk to me. I noticed that my coats would get my heart sore. There was a nail on my coats that would hurt when you looked at it. So the unconscious or subconscious of people that would cross me, well, when they feel the pain, they when the subconscious feels it before you do. So you don't actually feel the pain, but you're avoiding it because the other brain caught the pain before you could tell and corrected your movement. Lost my mind again. Where is my mind? Uh, that's me. Me. Graveyard of Dreams. I like the Devil Makes Three. Yeah, they located nice stuff in me. But there's not just the way. Well, there's all the Buddha and everything. They all the chi in the middle and all the French swears tabarnak or tabernacle, the ostia, asti. It's all opens up the rib cage and gives you prana when you say those with love. But they taught us to use them when we were angry. So when tabarnak, it's tabarnak, call. You squeeze it down. You're crushing people when you're mad. Hate vibrates. Hate has to be balanced with love. Love and hate. Hate. Love and hate. There's always a bit of hate hidden somewhere, guiding you and making sure you're following the love of the frequencies you're dealing with. We can even wrap them around you and say that we can start with fire, earth, move a bit and you'll feel the fire around you. It's kind of a stress. The earth is kind of stressy. Then inside you put air and water. Air and water is kind of cool feeling, and it's like coats or jetés or something. Every element does something. The algebraic runs into alchemy too. Well, the only thing I wonder is, I think they discovered that alchemical reality that led to Hermetism and Kabbalistic magic and then Israel and whatever, and making it to the top to the Vatican and all that. But I had a question I forgot again. So, what was I saying? Too late. Yeah, we're at a period in time where I believe you shouldn't. Well, sometimes you need to believe that's when the bee leaves. The bee will leave you with a string of energy, bare naked. When it leaves, when the bee leaves, you get a string. It's kind of How do I do? I'm pulling on a string. I can feel it here. And now my roommate just came out. I think the string was here. Sometimes people will those things. I have this unicorn horn. It's kind of neat. You twist it, but it's somebody kind of saboted. It's broken. I can't feel it no more. But you can touch. I can't even touch that energy no more. Something's twirling. The music's washing me up. It's giving me mercury or something. All the energies. There's kind of a cooling. Mercury on the top of your head. Mercury, sulfur, salt. So we're melting down your head. Your brain melted. I feel my brain melting. So that's all the energy. It's the dough. It's the base of life. That's how information and behavior enters you. It's the joke of the spaghetti pastafarians, because they made it on top, on the pad. They dictate now, not the Pope. The Pope used to dictate one person. It used to be a pyramid. I'm not sure we should keep Egyptian theory, because that's the Archon fascist way. The hierarchy and ranks and competition and war and blah blah blah, domination and destruction. That's the animal wolf way. You don't have to live like a wolf pack to make it in life. You have to know how to defend yourself from the wolf pack and the Vikings that conquer you, the conquerors that can't just stay home. Those predators. You have to be equipped to. You have to take those away. That's all. We have to really convert them back to good, or make them convince themselves to do so with anarchy. Anarchy with spirituality. We have to rewrite religion, and I'm not sure that the hierarchy and the monarch way of the Egyptians, where everything's all started with the emerald tablets and thought and Isis, with the emerald tablets, got what is above is like what is below. What's the giant galaxy is the same as a flower. It grows in a spiral. So there's a math, logic, magic. Computers is math, magic, and magician. That's manipulating elements to create visual images and communication. That is technology, but it's not really magic. I got magic happening to me. When they kiss me, I got this death kiss. I'm changing subject again. I'm really incoherent. I have a short-term memory lack. I think it's telling me to forget all the time, so I can't conclude my thesis, or they cut me or something. He said I'm no messiah now. I am his friend now. He says I'm 10 feet tall. Thanks. So it's 40 minutes. That's a pretty long video. I could probably do it for an hour. I don't know if you feel stuff changing inside of you. I'll give you I'll let go the leash. Back on the button. Ding, 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 ding. My head's getting hollowed out. It's taking all of since I looked at my own video, I started healing. It started swirling inside of me. The energy, all these mini turbines are extracting like a metal wire or a hard wire that's kind of snakes its way here and there and doubles back down, and it's just a pain in the ass to figure out and it's doing itself out with the music. So that's, and since I've listened to myself, I kissed myself by looking at my video. So if you're an evil person, I'd suggest you become better and you make it better, because in anarchy, which is my wish becoming true, I still have to do some cleaning up. I have to rig up the punks, rig up the behavior. You guys have to personify us, the 12, where I'm at, the red and black. Oh, I'm a black, I guess they said. No, I don't really give a damn. I think I'm a rainbow something. I don't give a shit about the color I get, and I don't give a shit if they know all how I am. I got rid of the worst problems, crack, heroin, because they had a nice plan for us. Marginals, yeah, they had this maze set up for us. And what? And the Nazis never. It's funny to hear Jesus talk about Nazis and fascists, but it's because they're after people like me. We live a terrifying reality. We get a skull in our pack sack at the age of 17. We're walking with death already. But I didn't know. I noticed there was a lot of skulls everywhere. But I was never aware that I was on a hit list. Because they're actually trying to please you as much as they can in order to gain trust. And then start getting the bad habits in. They forget energy drinks at your place, or show up and offer you one, or wake you up with a beer and a joint and a line, and then the lion's mad alpha. I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, that's pretty much the healing video. The pest doctor I am. I love pest doctors. I've been cleaning up the well all my life. They decided that I was the best one to deal with evil and the beast. The beast is still there, but it's not on top. The society is upside down. People are on top. There are red and white candles on top of the cake. We're getting there with the revolution. It's because this is the apocalypse. We need a mass change in reality. Change the system. We have to get out of this capitalist trap. This Ouroboros that's eating its tail. It only leads to a dead end. Even fascists are programmed to kill each other out, because I think that people are actually really serious about overpopulated Earth. Monsanto, Bayer, and with what they're doing with our food, and there's lots of stuff we have to rig. I believe, but you have to become. That's when the bee comes and it wraps the wire with love. When you say become, whatever you're working on inside of you will being wrapped by a bee. Or you can put it on the tip, up on the tip. You put a bee up there, and it starts tickling more because the bees hunting the. Or you put a predator up there. I'm way up here. Mm. I can feel the something going around. It's like if you have a cage, the Christian cage, but I punched a hole in the ceiling and there's the universe. Sky's the limit. It's all quantum physics. Uh, I don't know if God flicked a match. I can't tell you that. No, I think it's pressures and chaos that organizes magnetic waves and frequencies getting along with each other. And so, who shoved the paint bucket in the first place? Well, I guess we might have to say it's God, but we can't and cannot say there is only one God. And we cannot impose beliefs upon another person either. The only thing that will be imposed is in anarchy, which is in the center, not at the far left, because we're always dealing with plus and minus, positive, negative, magnetic and electric and energy. So everything's a balance. And there's also neutrality, the neutrons, protons, electrons. You tear those apart, gives light. So everything is light. So we basically create our reality with light. So what do we make of that light is what we say and what we create with the mantras that each represent elements and frequencies and plants and birds and all that, what we call things. Pierre. Pierre is P in Pierre. P and R is the circumference, it's the circle, it's the sun.